channel for the very latest. We continue now with former Clinton advisor, author of the brand new book just out today, Catastrophe: How Obama, Congress, and the special interests are transforming a slump into a crash, freedom into socialism, and a disaster into a catastrophe, and how you can fight back. By the way, did you ever think of a shorter title?
Well, I believe in putting the table of contents on the cover.
That's serious. You know, you start out this book, and you actually go in how Obama's causing a catastrophe. And you went back to your last book, Fleeced.
Right.
And you predicted all of this.
Well, in February of 2008, we wrote this line, and it was published in June of 2008, so it was way before the crash. We said in Fleeced, Obama's tax increases will trigger a stock market crash and devastate the already slumping real estate industry. A selling psychology often feeds on itself and can induce a market-wide panic. So the nearer Obama gets to power, the faster the markets are likely to dip. So look for a sharp downturn as Election Day approaches, and especially in the period between a Democratic victory and Inauguration Day. Obama will doubtless blame the drop on the outgoing Bush administration, but it would have been his own tax plans that send the markets into a tizzy.
Well, I hate to say that you're right. Look, Dick, it's a war on prosperity, but more, if we look a little bit more
deeply. It's no longer a war on poverty. It's now a war on prosperity.
It's a war on capitalism.
Exactly. And he is pursuing a European idea, an idea that is totally different from the American idea of economic growth.
You say a European drummer.
Yes. He follows the European dream, the idea that you redistribute income, that you segment society into classes, that you attenuate your economic growth in order to pass it out among everybody. And it's what he's doing in the tax laws, for example.
Print for political domination.
Yes.
That he wants to take over, change, radically alter America.
There's a four-part strategy for political domination. First is immigration. He's going to open the borders and give everybody an easy path to citizenship and to voting. Secondly, talk radio. He's going to squelch it, not by the fairness doctrine, but by imposing licensing requirements on stations that diversify the ownership, which means they bring in liberals to own the stations. The census, he's going to cook the data to count people that aren't there. And union representation, he's going to force people to join unions. And that is his four-part program of political domination.
Yeah, and so, but the idea, though, in his heart and in his soul, as you predicted and now you see the implementation of, the radical socialist agenda, the weakening of our national defenses, his unwillingness to even speak out for freedom, as we've been discussing, showing weakness with North Korea, all these things. You know, you think it's about what? Who is this person? Look, I said this statement, and every time I say it, people say, Hannity, you're going over the line. But I think he is Bill Ayers.
Yeah.
And not the terrorist. I think he shares the political ideology. I think he is Reverend Wright. I think he hit it well, but I think he's now implementing and proving me right.
I think he wants the United States to be like Germany and France. He wants us to be a socialist democracy. Now, we have a chapter in here, is Obama a socialist? Well, the way you define socialism is what % of the economy does the government control? When he took office, it was 33%. After the stimulus package, it's 40%. After health care reform passes, it'll be 46%, and Germany is 47%.
Right.
So this, and his strategy for achieving socialism is in every Kentucky Derby race. He has one horse that the government owns that's on steroids, and nobody else can take the steroids. So GM is subsidized and it beats out Ford. The government-paid health care system is subsidized and it beats out everybody else. The banks that he's basically taking over will get federal aid and the others won't. And the idea is that the competitive marketplace awards the victory to the government-subsidized entity that then takes over the economy.
Well, look, we're really only beginning to touch the surface.
There's so much more in here.
It's now in the top 10 in Amazon and nonfiction, and I'm not surprised. And today you're just launching the book. It's in bookstores everywhere. I think you're right. I think history will be very kind to George W. Bush, and it'll prove that we conservatives that warned about him were right. But I don't want that to be the case.
Richard Nixon once said, history is written by liberals.
All right, checkmate. I give up. You're probably right. Thanks, Dick. Congratulations on the new book.
Appreciate it.